myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Hey, that's us. We're on the air.
Hey, it is.
And I can hear you. I can hear you. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. I know. I was having technical difficulties. Nothing I was doing was working.
Yeah, you're still kind of low, but it could be my headphones. It wouldn't let me go into vertical mode for some reason.
Maybe it's StreamYard because I had to go my backup headphones and switch devices back and forth and stuff, so.
Well, it's good that you're back, seeing you only have a couple days left.
I know. I was rushing back home. I was at the pharmacy drive-thru. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do the show in the car.
Well, if you can hear it in the background, they are doing something outside the window. I think they're chopping trees down. I'm not sure. They were here earlier, but all of a sudden I have the sound of a large truck going backwards. So I apologize if you can hear that. It's beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, we can hear it now, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's been one of those days. We don't have Chili DeCastro coverage because he didn't go live last night. So I had to comment on it. I had to comment on it, so we're going to comment on it on our first video while I see what the hell they're doing outside my window.
All right.
Lazy Chili DeCastro giving up the fight. Jose Chili DeCastro has gone mysteriously quiet on the crowdsourcing front as our own ongoing expenses campaign took the day with a $10 donation from our hate viewer, whose mysterious identity will remain unknown for all of time. That drama aside, where the hell did Chili DeCastro go? We realize that his advanced age, doing multiple shows in a row where he sat stationary for 4+ hours at a time, can take quite the toll on his body. At the end of his Sunday stream, he complained that his legs were numb for sitting so long. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about his complete and near total abandonment of the GoFundMe market and crowdfunding in general. DeCastro was dependent on crowdfunding around the days he unexpectedly went to jail earlier in the year. His fans' generous donations brought in close to $40,000 in mere weeks as he was fighting what turned out to be a very real fight for his freedom against a conviction that was later overturned on appeal. However, since being freed from incarceration, DeCastro announced that he needed $100,000 of his fans' money to sue Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman and anyone associated with his incarceration, and launched a GoFundMe for that purpose. He promised his fans that they'd be invited to a gigantic party that he'd throw in his own honor once he received a 7-figure payout from the state of Nevada, with hotel rooms offered to anyone who donated to the campaign. The campaign itself skyrocketed to $4,000 in the first few days of existence, until it just died, getting a one-off donation here and there, and remaining 95% away from completion for over a month now. While it did get a donation on Sunday, that wasn't from DeCastro's doing. We totally spammed URLs on our Friday on a Saturday news story and broadcast, and did more to remind his fans of his crowdsourcing campaigns than he has in weeks, and that's just kind of sad. DeCastro bungled the handling of his release from jail, waiting too long to capitalize on his rabid fan base need for justice, waiting days to make any sort of live statement. He then lazily promoted the campaign as days passed and he learned how hard it would be to actually sue and win against a sitting judge in Nevada. Much like his much-needed Money for Press with Rankers campaign, DeCastro's gotten lazy, forgetting to promote the fund when he was in dire need of cash. He's apparently preferring to sit on his butt and do 4-hour shows, promoting nothing, than to bother to put any effort in any of his ongoing campaigns. Surmise for yourself what it means to the actions he was going to take based on what the campaigns were for. Hint, it ain't happening, and his transformation is complete. He's about to hit 50, he no longer seems to have the fire and passion he used to have, and it seems like he's given up on following through on his campaigns to make a difference in his world. But isn't that exactly like every other promise he's made over the past year? On that note, if you'd like to step on our toes and make us cry like little Cholito, or to force us to keep writing this column each day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. Well, I can unmute now. There are 2 big red trucks outside of the window. They're dump trucks. I'm not sure what the hell they're doing, but I'm just a little nervous about it.
What are they dumping in your yard, Jim?
I don't think they're dumping anything. I think they're actually picking up trees, maybe. Maybe they're, I don't know. They've been cutting trees. It's the electric company has been cutting trees back all afternoon. So all of a sudden these big red dump trucks just appeared, so I have no idea what they're doing because I can't see. Yeah, I ran out front just to see that they were out there. I didn't see what they were doing. So
are they dumping the trimmings in your yard?
No, they'd be taking it away. I'm sure. You know, they wouldn't just dump it here.
Around here, you might wake up to like a bunch of weird branches on your easement because some random person just dumped them. City's not going to come get them.
No, here they only dump animals. So that's how we've got all these strays up here. So
alive ones. Okay, that's better.
Yes,
better.
Yes. But yeah, dogs immediately get claimed. Someone will take the dogs in, but the cats show up here. And there's apparently one other house because at least 2 of the strays have suddenly come back with their ear clipped, meaning that somebody took them to be fixed. So yeah. So I'm just sitting here wondering if they're 2-timing me, going to somebody else's place for maybe lunch and to hang out, then come here for breakfast and dinner. I don't know. These crazy 2-timing cats.
You get your meals in different places. At least the full burden of feeding them isn't upon your shoulders. That's an upside.
Yeah. And especially the getting them fixed. Because trying to capture them and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Let's see. 1, 2, or 3 since we did the GoFundMe. 1, 2, or 3.
I'm going to go with 3.
Okay, you went with 3, and I guess Chili may be live right now talking about number 3.
Oh.
Pre-arrested in Florida. Actor and YouTuber Asif Too Apree Khan was arrested at the end of July in Groveland, Florida for failing to comply with an official order after receiving 7 citations for having illegally tinted windows on his car. In body cam footage obtained by the Raggle Monkey YouTube channel and later aired on Frauditor Trolls channel, Khan was pulled over by police for the excessively darkened tint on his windows. Upon encountering Khan, the arresting officer suspected that he was under the influence of some sort of drug due to his erratic behavior and the tiny size of his eye pupils. Khan was subjected to roadside DUI tests, but passed all of the tests in stunning fashion, showing no signs of impairment. A records check showed that Khan had been pulled over 7 times for operating his vehicle with the illegally tinted windows. While the YouTuber had claimed that he was waiting for a hearing with the judge in August, he ignored directives not to operate the vehicle until the matter was heard. Khan's previous arrest for driving with an illegal tint came the day before, where he was again instructed not to drive the vehicle due to the illegal tint. He indicated that he was on the way to a gym for a workout and seemed unfazed by the arrest, stating that if he was released from jail early, he could still get a workout in before the gym closed. The YouTuber was not in character during the arrest. Khan gained fame over the past year for filming First Amendment auditing-based pranks in character, targeting towns in the South with his odd appearance and activity. His characters include Butterfly Boy, a robot man, a goth mall troll, a toned-down autistic character, and a fishing show host. He is also known for his impersonation of the king of First Amendment auditors, Sean Paul Long Island Audits Riaz, who he met last month in a collaboration video where the men were trespassed from a public library in Palm Beach, Florida. Yeah, so this is old footage that Rago Monkey, I guess, got his hands on, and then Troll got it. Now, everybody on Earth is doing the story. And I guess Chili's story is he really an auditor, or is he an actor? And
he really does border into the absurd, the surreal, a comedian. I think he's kind of interesting, a little bit interesting, funny. I mean, not overly, but in comparison to some of the other players in our realm of this little sector of the internet, I think he's one of the more entertaining ones. I like the fishing guy. It's kind of ridiculous.
In the video, he's just himself, but he's obviously on something because his pupils are tinier than Chili's.
Yeah.
The cops were like, he's a
imbibe. Yeah.
Yeah, the cops were like, he's on cocaine. He's definitely on cocaine. So
yeah.
But he apparently has all of the DUI tests memorized because he got them perfectly. Seriously.
Just to argue the point, I think most of us also have all of the DUI tests memorized at this point. We've watched so many videos of it.
He did the walk and turn. Which everyone has problems with.
You gotta sprinkler it out. You gotta do 9 steps, stop, sprinkler the one leg, and then do 9 steps back.
Yeah, well, he did it perfectly. He's huge too. He's taller. He's a couple inches taller than LIA, who's like 6 foot something. So for someone that big, it was just amazing to sit there and watch. I was like, oh my God, he knows what he's doing. So, the cops were like, we can't arrest you for DUI, but, that's 7 times you've been stopped, including you were stopped just yesterday and told not to drive this car. And they eventually took him in for that. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, if you do require a dark tint on your vehicle, if you have migraines, your neurologist can write a prescription for it, and you submit it into the DMV, and you will get a pass.
Yes. But his were so dark, I'm surprised you could see out. That's how dark they were. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, and they used the Tinto meter on it, and it just came up laughing. So, it was
You know that advertising film that's vinyl with lots of teeny tiny pinholes that people use to do advertising on windows? I got some white of that and put it up at the top of my windows. So it's not tint. You can see through it.
Right.
It's not any of the things. And it blocks out a ton of sunlight, like right where the sun gets me in between my face and my sunglasses, because it comes in right there.
Well, this guy's never going to get you between your face and your sunglasses, because hopefully he'll be in jail forever.
God. For the love of God.
I
my
had to
God.
go there. I had to.
I think I know you're going to be like pulling out a bib. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God, I had to. It was a Pope Phil
Huh,
moment. Yes.
huh.
Well, Jeremey As we go
Dewitte
trials delayed. Both the Jeremey Dewitte news by Police Tube's uncle and the So You Dated a Police Is it far worse that it's Jeremey Dewitte?
Yeah, I kind of hate you right now. If I wasn't already quitting, I might quit today.
Oh. Oh, God. At least we can have at least one of these laughs, you know? Oh.
Bastard.
Impersonator YouTube channels announced that Jeremey Dewitte's upcoming trials have been delayed till August 29, 2024 and September 3rd, 2024. No reason was given for the delays. This came after a Monday where Police Tube's uncle reported that Dewitte's alleged girlfriend, Jennifer Burton, was deposed by the prosecution in one of the cases of failing to register a change in car ownership as a registered SA. According to Police Tube's uncle's reporting, Burton confirmed that Dewitte had SA'd her against her will, confirming a rumored incident between the two in an ambulance years ago. She also allegedly confirmed that Dewitte violently attacked her by smashing her foot with a car door after an argument between the two. Burton said that she stayed with Dewitte because you can't just turn off love despite his alleged violent tendencies. So You Dated a Police Impersonator warned his fans not to listen to YouTube reporting outside of the circle of reporters, including Fraudy, Police Tube's uncle, Josh, and himself. He said that they all source material from the same source and questioned the information from the source. He went on to say the source was being paid and questioned the information coming from the source, as the person may be providing as salacious information as possible to justify the payment. Further warning that information without confirmation is fruit of the poisonous tree. Police Tube's uncle also reported that a civil debt collection case against Dewitte has been voluntarily dismissed without prejudice last week. Speculation from Police Tube's uncle is that Dewitte is simply a bad debtor and it was not worth going after him. The first of the two rescheduled trials was originally scheduled to start this week. Dewitte will remain in jail throughout the delay. First, thank you, Sean, for becoming a new member.
Woohoo!
And my chair squeaks now. It's only been 3 weeks.
I was going to ask you, did you switch your chairs out back to the old one? What is happening? Gotta get some WD-40.
The old one is gone. It's just, this one, if I don't have my back all the way back, it squeaks now. So...
Oh my God. So the audience knows that was my main complaint about his old chair. His ergonomics was not on my mind, just the sound of the squeaking.
Yes,
it was a bonus.
It came back just for that video, because I don't think it's in the rest of them, because I got paranoid immediately. So
and he found a really good deal on that chair. It was like $100 or something. It was like a ridiculous price for the type of chair it is. I was like, yes, get that one. It won't squeak, and now it squeaks.
Now it squeaks. Yeah, Rose told me that she has the same chair. She bought it 2 years ago. Hers is all beat up. So she was like laughing at me when the cat tore the arm off of it last week, and I had to find the little Allen wrench, because the cat, Cecilia the cat, somehow took the bag with the Allen wrench in it. It's a heavy bag because it had all the spare parts in it too. And dropped it behind my chaise lounger. I can't say it. Chez lounger.
Chaise lounge?
Behind me. Yes, the thing.
I like them.
Yes, they're permanently down, so I don't have to worry about squishing cats in a recliner. So...
Yeah, I don't own recliners because of cats. I'm always afraid I'm going to smash one up in there.
Yeah. And,
I have ottomans and a chaise lounge. Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Yes. And I like mine, except the cats have beat it to hell. But somehow she got the bag of stuff, which was over here on the desk, carried it all the way across the room, and dumped it behind the chaise, I can't say it.
Chaise lounge?
The thingy. The thingy, yes, the thingy. So that's where I found it after 3 hours of searching the other day when the power was out. So
Right. Well, the responsible thing to do would be to take that bag and tape it to the underside of the chair.
probably.
Yeah.
Instead, I put it up with all my spare medicines, which they don't know where it is. At least I don't think they do. Or at least they haven't
Okay.
figured out because it's hanging in the closet. You know, from a spot where they can't jump up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least not yet. At least not till they watch me go over there and try to get it next time. So,
Yeah. Me too,
yeah.
Sean. I have all the extra bits and pieces. I have like a bin. I just toss them all in there.
We have one story left, and it's probably the most important story because
Mm.
it's looking like the Regan Benson screaming at the
Oh yeah.
Englewood City Council every other Monday night may be coming to sort of an end. Uh,
Hmm.
Last night was interesting, I'll say the least. I watched it live. As the spoiler warning, she got her ass kicked out of the meeting. And
Boo, boo, boo.
I don't know if she's suing or what, but state law does say that if you applaud, if you boo, if you interrupt the meeting during public speaking, you can be ejected. I don't think she was charged with anything, but she was ejected from the meeting room. So
Nice.
she had like
About
they
time.
did like 3 or 4 times. They said, Regan, stop it. Regan, that's not appropriate. Regan, next time you're going to go. And let's just go to the story. It's a long one, too, folks. Ejected from the Englewood, Colorado City Council meeting Monday night for disruption after interrupting several speakers and Mayor Nathaniel Sierra with applause. Under a standing state law, disruption is defined as applauding, booing, yelling, and speaking during the public feedback portion of the Englewood City Council meeting. Mayor Sierra had warned Benson that she would be ejected if she continued to disrupt after she applauded for Christopher Denver Metro Audit's Cordova, who had just addressed the council. Benson stood and applauded for 2 other speakers, resulting in Mayor Sierra having police escort Benson out of the city council chamber. The YouTuber had been taunting Englewood with threats to sue over her First Amendment rights since winning 2 settlements and $130,000 from the city of Denver last month for First Amendment retaliation. She had made it clear that she would be pursuing similar lawsuits against the city of Englewood should they not bow down to her demands to change policy involving the Englewood Police Department. It is unclear at this time if the ejection, which was legal understanding city ordinances and state law, will be the source of Benson's threatened lawsuits. Benson was there to protest proposed changes to the public speaking portion of the meeting. In her fiery speech to open the public speaking portion of the meeting, she offered a deal to the council: drop all planned changes to public speaking, and she and Cordova would never attempt to speak again at the meetings. She then attacked all the members of the city council, calling them tyrants and complaining as someone on the city clerk's staff changed the title of her address from addressing Tyrants of Englewood to addressing City of Englewood. Cordova would follow her, demanding the firing of Englewood police officers Robbie Ford and Matthew Stanley for various incidents involving homeless. Cordova singled out Ford, who Benson had been focused on having removed from the force for some time, calling the man a danger to society and needed to be housed in a cage. Benson and Cordova's antics have brought a good deal of attention to the bi-weekly meeting of the council over the past year. Their time addressing the council, aired live on YouTube, usually are speeches designed to insult and degrade council members who they disagree with and demand change from the city council despite neither living in Englewood. Often live streaming while sitting next to the speaker's podium, Benson was known for insulting and degrading speakers who she disagreed with via text messages to her YouTube side chat, often calling female speakers dumb bitches behind their backs as they were speaking. After the ejection, the city council debated changes to the public speaking portion of the meeting and passed those changes. Changes of note: There will be a set time limit of 90 minutes for the public speaking session. Each person signed up to speak will get 3 minutes to speak, eliminating the 3 and 5 minute current sessions. Audiovisual material must be provided 2 business days in advance to the council. The council will then have the material ready for presentation. Speakers must provide their name and cross street to the city clerk when they sign up to speak. Out-of-towners must give their name and city name/state name. Anyone refusing to give this information will not be called on to speak. Speakers will be called on in order of sign-up unless the person had previously spoken at the meeting in the last 90 days. Those speakers will be put at the end of the list of speakers. There's no guarantee that speakers will get the ability to speak each week. Cutoff is a firm 90 minutes. Those wishing to record the meeting will do so from a designated press table at the back of the room. Those that disrupt the meeting by booing, applauding, yelling, or talking will be escorted out by the police. The time limit for speakers starts when they begin speaking and not when they are called upon. There will be no flash photography during the meeting without permission. The changes have been made after an extensive study by the City Council, taking feedback from the public on multiple occasions. While Benson and Cordova promoted the idea that the City Council were doing away with the public feedback portion of the meeting, the Council did not do so. City Council meetings remain open to all members of the public, and all members of the public are allowed to sign up to speak, including those who live outside of Englewood. So, going into this, Regan and Cordova were telling everyone they're getting away, they're going to just do away with it, and just shouting the worst out. And then their offer comes. And the offer is, we'll never speak again if you just drop these. And I don't know, would it have been worth it to take it never to see Regan Benson again?
Right? Or, I don't know, maybe stop vacillating between extremes. Behave like a person, and maybe they'll listen to what you have to say instead of a shrieking shrew. I mean, I don't understand why shrieking or not speaking at all is like the binary options.
Right.
What?
I mean, seriously, she spent last night screaming that they were tyrants and they were horrible, and it wasn't addressing the council, because number one, she doesn't live there, and number two, it was just for the camera. That's all she was there for. She didn't care if they were there. Same with Cordova. Cordova was just making his little statement so he can put it on his website.
It's weird library porn. God, that's so gross.
Yeah, he didn't bring up the library porn this time, but God.
Oh, he didn't? Because that's usually his main speaking point. Like, I don't care. Adults do adult things at your house. Whatever you like to look at, have fun. That's great. It's wonderful. I just don't need to participate in that. And that's a public place. And I will have to unwittingly participate in that because my eyes can't trespass, right? They just see things.
It's a weird hill to die on,
Gross.
Oh, they've got the constitutional right to watch porn in public. Really? You really want to be associated with that?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm not a prude, but like, I don't want to have to participate in that. I don't want to be an unwitting third party to whatever you got going on.
Right.
There's no consent there. I have to consent to that, and I am not consenting. This is an assault upon my eyeballs. I don't want it. I don't want it. And neither does anybody else.
I don't know. He went off on cops and homeless, and he wants them all put in cages and fired, and it was Cordova. I mean, at a certain point, you just start to tune him out because he's irrelevant. I can't say irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Yes, I can't say anything tonight. But on the other hand, I did like the one little thing that they instituted was there's a media table at the very back of the room. Because Regan usually sits there and live streams right next to the podium where the speakers are, so she can make the nasty comments to her side chat. Literally 2 feet from the speaker. She'll call someone a nasty bitch or the C word or whatever. So while Cordova usually has his camera mount set up everywhere in the way of everything, so speakers trying to come up from the sides have to step over his equipment to get up there. So I like the fact that
there's a fire hazard. If nothing else, it's just a fire hazard. It's inconsiderate, it's rude, it's made to provoke and agitate, but in the end, it's just a fire hazard. You can't...
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, at least a media table will contain them to a certain area if they do come in. It doesn't give them the right to speak anymore. It just gives them the right to observe, record, report, which, if that's what they're claiming to be, is their appropriate place in there, right?
And they do have the ability to speak. They can sign up like anybody else, for a 3-minute session, but if they do it within 90 days, then their name is at the end of the list. Theoretically, there are 25 slots, and that's up from 20 that they had. Speaking slots. It's either 25 or 26. What's 90 divided by 3? There's 30. It should be 30 slots, shouldn't it? So...
it doesn't matter. More than there was before.
Yeah. It's 90 minutes of designated time. And basically, the other change I like is the AV stuff. As long as you get your stuff in early, that stops. Like some guy last night came in and he was going to show his video, and it took 5 minutes just to get his SD card working with the setup, and then what he was showing really wasn't relevant to what he was speaking on. So it was like, come on.
Giant waste of time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these public speaking blocks these are not professionals. This is not what they do for a living. They're not always public speakers just in general. A lot of times these are either fanatics about something and they're uber focused, or they're just people. They're not polished. It's not it's not going to go smooth all the time.
But what I'm saying is requiring them to get it in by Thursday close of business means that Friday their IT guy can go through it, make sure it's okay, get it set up, so when it's their turn to speak, he can just pull it right up for them. So
right, because they're not professionals. It's not going to be polished. Let the professional take care of that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's great.
And sometimes it's inappropriate material that slips its way in, and yeah. You really don't want that.
No. Especially when you have basically like trolls coming into your meeting.
Right. So, I don't know. Regan didn't do a live last night, and neither did Cordova, so I'm just waiting for the lawsuit. That's it. She probably just said, that's it, we're going to sue him. We're going to go to court, I'm going to get my $130,000, and that'll be that. So...
I don't know. They might not have a case with it, because there's reasonable accommodations, right? There's just deadlines and paperwork and signing up. You know what I mean?
It's law. It's actually state law. It's also a city ordinance. So there are two things that say you can't applaud because that's disruption during the speaking time.
Right.
So it's established law, and the only thing they could say is she was treated differently because Cordova applauded too, but Cordova did not get kicked out. He left on his own.
I guess maybe. What about Snap? They snap?
Maybe that's loudness. I don't know.
I don't know.
But on that note, folks, we're gonna call it a night here. I am finally doing some new screenshots if I can figure out what I used to do of the new models for Turtle Boy and for Mr. Alpha Male in his clown suit, who's gained about 50 pounds. Yes, he's gained. He's current Alpha Male.
It's
as we're not saying his name. Yes. Nutella era Alpha Male. Of course, I only have one setting that works, and that's the little bar scene, but I'm like, I had some free time, let's try it, because I had like an hour. And I'm like, hook it up. And now every screen cap I do is fuzzy, and I don't know what I used to do to make it unfuzzy, but I've got the rest of the hour to figure that out, because we'll be back at the top of the hour with our all-star panel.
Ooh.
That's right, folks. We're back in an hour to discuss whatever the hell we feel like discussing tonight. And it may be Verbo's choice. We may give her awful videos to pick from.
Cheese and biscuits. Okay, well, come back for seemingly a variety of horrifying things later in the hour.
Yes, featuring drunk people, but no nudity this time. We do not have any featuring nudity, so there we go.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Okay, folks, see you in a bit. Let's get our closing credits.
See you later.